It is a Friday afternoon in 2013. Coming back from class and looking forward to the weekend up ahead. You come home and load FIFA 14 and get immediately greeted with this. We've got no place to go, caught up in the rodeo. And as it seemed, in a matter of seconds, all problems of life went away in a flash. Until time goes by, years wither away, you grow up, and yet that single memory sticks out as the good old days. The days where you would play Ultimate Team in a cycle of throwing your chair at your mum, to the next day win a game of Divisions as if nothing happened. Make yourself a 10k coin team of non-rares that demolish the sweat of other players with way better squads than you on paper. Or you make a career mode save of a club in the second tier of German football and take them to Champions League glory, only to leave them for a better club next season. Yeah, we have all done that, you mug. Coin sponsors, fun gameplay and mechanics, and the peak of the YouTube scene in our disposals. As of 2024, all that remains from those times: nostalgia. Personally, with all the games in the FIFA Golden Age, the music, specifically from FIFA 12 to 17, stored the magical feeling of what it felt like to have fun playing a game. Instead of crossing the ball from the wing and scoring a stupid fucking bicycle kick like a cunt 14 times a game. And this could have been just another nostalgia merchant video trying to relive the past, like a homeless man spending his daddy's inheritance on a midget stripper from Blackpool called Dave. However, I want to go to the backbone of it all: the FIFA soundtracks, and how actually important were they to FIFA players alike throughout the years. And additionally, how with the fall of the game, it became less original and less memorable to the wider audience, especially to those who remember the golden age of the FIFA games. This is arguably the most nerdy shit I'll do with this channel, so subscribe if you want, otherwise I will take your mom to dinner and hand her a spanking she'll never forget. Now we start off with cultural longevity. Why are games like Super Mario and Pokemon easily remembered for nostalgia and iconicness? Both of these game franchises contain massively impactful and handcrafted soundtracks which mock the childhoods and overall lives of people playing them. It got to the certain level that by the songs of each phase of the game brings a new unique experience to the player. When it comes to the FIFA games, it boils down to something a bit different and much more diversified. FIFA ain't a game that new music gets unlocked every time you bring Macclesfield to the Premier League title. It is the same songs for that year, and that's it. You just wait to the next game and you pay £60 for it and you stay happy even though you're delusional and you're not happy. This is why the songs need to be connected to the audience in some way and chosen correctly to make the atmosphere of the player more positive. Explaining why most soundtracks in the late 90s and 2000s were simply not all that noticeable. Sure, you had a couple hidden gems, a couple bangers throughout that time, like Jerk It Out. However, once the game itself started to advance and hit a peak on popularity and cultural relevance, people started to pick up the little things of the games, i.e., for example, the background music whilst playing the game, and for example, opening packs in Ultimate Team or do a training drill before a game begins. With that, what was supposed to be just background noise transformed into, at least in the FIFA scene, anthems, which transition into the players' own personal lives and into their Spotify playlists. Yeah, I know you do this. I mean, you have some songs like Avicii's The Nights and Vance Joy's Mess Is Mine in FIFA 15 that got traction on a global scale without even the game's knowledge. So they don't really set the parameters for how specific this topic is when it regards to FIFA songs only. And I do mean that term, FIFA songs. However, songs like We Come Running by Young Bloodhawk and The Royal Concept's On Our Way are perfect examples of culturally impactful songs where you literally head to the YouTube comments of their video clips and they're all connected to the respective FIFAs and the nostalgia that it brings to the ears every time hearing this song. But the key aspect also is bringing music into account. Even though music is subjective, the songs are really good. And to prove that subjectivity is not really a case here to be played around with, Stormzy's energy from FIFA 18 is one that the community cannot get enough of. And even though I like Stormzy's music, this one just ain't for me. But that's cool. I'm cool with that. Just don't say it's better than On Our Way and I Won't Murder Your Father. Music culturally can bring people together and also get us connected to a memory, whether good or bad, aligned to the time frame the song was consistently played to us. For example, When the Day Comes by Nico and Vince always gets me back to my middle school days when I got Bale in a pack in Ultimate Team and all my friends started screaming and dying right across my eyesight. Don't worry, I did it too. But also on a more personal and less gaming-wise point of view, Zulu Screams by Gold Link reminds me of when I met my best friends of all time and overcame my first depression and started living for myself. Loads of people live and breathe these music to the point it becomes their track of the year on Spotify. Or maybe that's just me being in another sad case. My point being, it matters too much to most players on a regular basis in their lives for it to just be background noise when you play. It creates unique feelings to last a lifetime, and in some cases for the old FIFAs, a sense of belonging, especially of those who collected memories along the way. Now the second point is a bit more techie, but also one that I didn't really expect to cover, but I'm really glad I am. Platform for artists. So many artists in the music scene could be argued to still have monthly listeners to this day, and streams to this day, because of a feature in a FIFA game. And some blew up because of the feature itself, carrying the momentum to potential stardom. And I'll give you arguably the best case of it all, John Newman. His debut album, Tribute, in 2013 was actually decent. I heard a couple songs here and there, especially Cheating. And then on that album, FIFA 14's very own Love Me Again. Jesus Christ! This is the most ultimate FIFA song that could ever exist. Numbers wise, it went to 700 million streams and forever connected culturally to the game. And to pop scene in the 2010s, to be honest. That was his debut album and his first really big song. His next big musical endeavor was a feature in Calvin Harris's Blame, a 2010s certified classic, platinum multiple countries, and a Minecraft intro staple for children under the age of 7. It promoted him to legit superstardom in a matter of months by the general influence of the game itself, simply being at its peak popularity combined with the passionate fan base and musical influence at the time, especially with all the names they were bringing at the time. Avicii, Imagine Dragons also having their most acclaimed album New Visions introduced to the FIFA game, in this case FIFA 13, and Bastille twice. Oh, but what about the not so popular names featured? Not the Aviciis and Imagine Dragons of the world, but some other noticeable names. Because they also had their songs mocked forever by FIFA players who remember their songs vividly and would consistently play them over time. I'll give you some hints. Saint Motel. My Type is amazing. VIC with a Teen, surprisingly a humble tune that most rappers can't really crack on FIFA games like that. Passion Pit, Foles, Catfish and the Bottomman, and the list is endless, especially for genres such as indie pop and electronic groups. Personally, on my case, it's because of FIFA I discovered The Naked and the Famous, with the songs Punching a Dream in FIFA 12 and Hearts Like Ours in FIFA 14. Suddenly I dove deeper into their albums throughout that time and found even more amazing tunes I blasted all the way through my second depression. Don't get surprised, guys, I'll lose my mind at least twice a week. Their own 2012 albums such as No Way, All of This, even a popular one in Young Blood, but also their albums that weren't really connected to FIFA at all, like their 2018 album with The Runners, The Water Beneath You, and Rotten. I discovered that because their songs were in a FIFA game almost 10 years ago. Either way, having an iconic FIFA song can impact the way your music is found and experienced, and promoting these musicians in levels that they would originally and usually not get organically. But the final one is arguably the most important of them all, and is gaming experience. Going back to the Mario and Pokemon point, because yes, these games themselves become even more fun and enjoyable by the simple sounds of music in certain phases of the game that impact your gaming performance. In FIFA's case, it turns the lobbies of every single game they have into a music festival which is open 24/7. And especially in the case of older games, until around FIFA 21, the songs correlated well in establishing a certain environment of relaxation for the casual player. Imagine for instance you're doing a squad building challenge in any of these games. Now something that takes time and effort and a shit ton of coins into playing the squad right to submit, it's still guaranteed that you mostly get more relaxed and excited by doing the challenges thanks to the music in the back. And maybe you didn't even realize it in the several psychological factors that it may have on you and your gameplay. Even on certain very specific cases, such as the screens pre-game showing the two teams playing, on my case, the FIFA 16 version, where you have instrumentals of Back of the Car by RAC and Conqueror by Aurora. And it feels as if the game is worth 50% more than it used to, just because of the intensity the music brings to the table. And it's not really a nostalgia thing to say, because it still brings this feeling on recent occasions as well. FIFA 22's Good Girls by and I'll say it again, A Teen by VRC are staples to me, just crafting my La Liga team on foot whilst being the year that I left my parents' house to go to uni. So it still marked me on that whilst increasing my performance on gameplay. It is a very unique sentiment that can either make you more focused on a task at hand in a game, or simply more chill and relaxed when you're just looking to rebuild a team of career mode or do an SBC on Ultimate Team. But now we head to arguably the most controversial point of them all, and one that FIFA players to this day will agree with me 100% of the time. How and why did it go worse? Why are the FIFA soundtracks constantly being miserable compared to the golden standards they set for themselves on the last decade? And to me at least, EA just put less effort in selecting the music for the soundtracks, that's for sure. Hence, the FIFA 23 World Cup update featured the classics so they would capture a bit of the glimpse of the magic back. And those yearly 20-odd songs that people were so attached to got left behind in exchange to games with hundreds of different songs. And it feels like they get one or two big names and splat everyone else in there to make up the numbers and publicity for the game before it even launches. And the casting for these features feel like EA treat this process like a highly acclaimed music festival like Lollapalooza, and not only put too much music in, but it's also kind of hard for anyone to get attached to these songs that are overly too common and normal to simply be in the background of a football game. And that's what it really became. It's now just background noise for EA in recent years. Plus, and arguably the most important point of them all, the downfall of the FIFA games. It left people either disappointed and not really playing the sequels, or playing them because for them is the only option for football without having to migrate to PES, where, let's face it, one of our friends, and just one of our friends, usually the one with Down syndrome, plays PES consistently. It now became yet another highly rated EA production that is now a cash grab for upcoming established artists to put their names out there in order to recapture the feeling of what other FIFA soundtracks could bring. But until the game can be better, and that's never happening, this ain't changing anytime soon.